Okay, so I was able to do this in just the nick of time, I guess. I have to do something today, but I was able to pull it off. I was able to watch a little bit of Texas A&M today, and I said I will offer why I said the thing I said at the end of my last video where I said I'm not worried about Texas A&M, and some of you expressed that you were, so I said I will watch some tape on them, and I will get back to you hopefully with a video by the end of the week. Well, this is that video. Most of my take is coming from the Texas A&M versus South Carolina game since it's the most recent, and you can see a lot. Their quarterback who started the season, Jake Hubernick, he got hurt, so now they're starting the true freshman quarterback, Kellen Mond, who's number 11. He's a very talented guy, dual threat, can run, can throw, he has some good arm strength, can have some long legs so he can really move a little bit. Not as fast as Jalen Hurts, of course, but he is a talented guy. They have a very young receiving core as well, so true freshman quarterback, a lot of true freshman receivers. Receiver really doesn't seem to be the strength of their team, even though they run that spread offense with usually 4 wide receivers on the field, at the most 3. I mean, at the least 3. But I'll get into some of the overall things, and maybe I'll highlight a few plays, but I'm not going to do too much. I'm trying to keep this short because I have to go really soon. But basically, what I've seen from Kellen Mond is that he has a nice, strong arm, but Texas A&M, I guess either they don't trust him to throw the ball deep down the field yet, or he doesn't trust himself, or he doesn't know how to yet. Kind of in a more limited role of Jalen Hurts from last year, almost, but he's in a wide open spread offense, so it's a little bit different. But he is limited in his progressions and throwing the ball down the field. At one point, to start the third quarter, so starting the second half, he was 10 of 16 for 66 yards. He didn't end the game with a whole bunch, but South Carolina had a good defensive plan for him. Will Muschamp and those guys, they really set something up. But their offense just wasn't good enough, as I'll get through some of that. But yeah, Kellen Mond, he does have the arm strength. He does have the ability to make some throws. But they throw a lot of the swing passes, a lot of short passes, the screen passes to Christian Kirk and whatnot. The receivers didn't necessarily get open a lot against the South Carolina coverage, and it could just be because South Carolina played a lot of zone, staying back. So that's something interesting to keep your eye on. Texas A&M's defensive line, I'm not really that worried about their pass rush based on what I've seen. Although, and this actually helps me, so Texas A&M, they obviously have talented defensive linemen. I don't think it's as talented as they were even a couple of years ago. Of course not. Myles Garrett and a few of those others on that line. These guys, they can still rush. You got number 5, who is Mack. Number 92, Henderson. He made a lot of plays with power. He's a really good nose tackle. It seems he's good at the one technique spot. So they have 2 that stood out the most to me, which is basically 92 and number 40, who plays the right end spot. He abused the South Carolina left tackle all night with power. They have power rushers, which is really interesting, similar to Alabama, but this was against South Carolina. And so South Carolina's quarterback, Jake Bentley, he also impressed me a few times in the game with some of his throws, as he's really above himself as like a true sophomore. Probably one of the more mature true sophomores I've seen in terms of being a great passer and just throwing the ball down the field. And he has a little bit of mobility. Texas A&M was afraid of that. Texas A&M tried to maintain gap integrity in his game to keep him from scrambling around, and he took advantage of that. Now, that's encouraging for Alabama, is because if they did that for Jake Bentley, who's nowhere near the amount of runner as Jalen Hurts is, they are for sure going to try to do that against Jalen Hurts in the Alabama game. And that's going to leave a lot of room for Jalen Hurts to throw the ball downfield. The problem for South Carolina is, even though Texas A&M played containment and not doing a lot of pass rush, at least early in the game, at the end of the game, they were ahead, and so they knew South Carolina had to pass, so they would just keep on rushing. Even though earlier in the game, Texas A&M was playing contained, they were still getting rushed. And Jake Bentley couldn't do anything about that. His receivers weren't talented enough to break free. These Texas A&M cornerbacks, they look a lot better than previous years. Length on them, can run, but they just weren't getting open. And so there was nothing to take advantage of. Alabama, on the wing, it's Calvin Ridley, it's Robert Foster, there's true freshman Jerry Jeudy. All these a lot of guys with a lot of potential who can really get open, can run great routes. Texas A&M really didn't have to deal with that a lot, except there were times where the secondary, because they are young too. These are also young players. Number 29, he has some really long arms. Go look at that guy. He's really talented. I think his last name is Renfro. These are true freshmen, so they have a young secondary. And then, of course, Armani Watts is not the tallest safety. There were times where Jake Bentley caught them out of position and threw the ball behind them, and that's how they got a touchdown or two from them. Um, so yeah, what I see from this Texas A&M team is this: they are not that dangerous passing the ball, at least not against a team with a good defense. They're going to try to run the ball a lot. They seem to have tried to implement that a lot into their system ever since they brought in Nolan Mazone. They used to pass the ball quite a bit, but they realized we need to do some balance now that we're in the SEC. So now they try to run the ball a lot with Travion Williams, number 5, and Keith Ford, who's really physical. He scored a couple touchdowns in this game, running the ball. So they like to run. But the thing is, Alabama's specialty is stopping the run. See, South Carolina's defensive line, they couldn't control the line of scrimmage as well as, an Alabama could. So even though they kind of knew what was coming at times, they couldn't really stop it, especially toward the end of the game when they got tired, they were being worn down. Alabama's defensive line and front seven specialize in stopping the run. You can't move Josh Frazier, Deron Payne, Deshaun Ham. He's in ball though. He's gonna be out. And Raekwon Davis. These guys are monsters, and Anthony Jennings on the edge. They specialize in maintaining their gaps and playing the run really well. There's rarely times where I see Alabama's defensive line gets moved. Not to mention, and that's another point here, Texas A&M's offensive line. This is one of the biggest takeaways I have from this game. Texas A&M's offensive line, especially number 75, their left tackle, they're not strong. Like they don't necessarily bust a lot of plays. They don't necessarily give up a lot of assignments, but they're just not strong. They'll get to their block and they'll get on their guy, but they don't get a lot of push. They don't really move people out of the way. They just kind of get a hat on the hat a little bit and don't really push them. Thing is, with Alabama is, Alabama's defensive line is not South Carolina's defensive line. Alabama's defensive line can move you and control the line of scrimmage. So even if you get to them, that doesn't mean you're going to make a hole for your running back. And I don't see Texas A&M's offensive line producing a lot of success for them running the ball, which is what they want to do, especially now that their true freshman quarterback, Kellen Mond, is in the game, who doesn't pass the ball down the field a lot. He threw a lot of swing passes, a lot of screen passes. And that doesn't really pressure the defense to back up, which is what Texas A&M will want to do, which I'm sure Kevin Sumlin, they may want to protect them since it's Alabama, which means they'll have to try to rely on their running game and hopefully his athleticism. That may produce a play here too, but that can't save you against Alabama's defense. So they're going to have to try to stretch the ball vertically. But here's the problem. Alabama's defensive line is stronger than Texas A&M's offensive line, and here's the biggest kicker. The announcers of the game, the commentators kind of let me in on it a little bit, and then I noticed it myself, and I started to predict when they will run and pass the ball. Texas A&M offensive line, their interior linemen, the left guard, the center, and the right guard, they give away when it's a run and a pass play, and I'll show you how. Let me read what they kind of pointed out here. Is that, well, actually, I just remember it. So if the Texas A&M, it's a running play when the left guard and the right guard get really, really close to the left tackle and the right tackle and leave bigger gaps between the A gaps on both sides of the center. When you see that, it's a running play. When they're closer together, when the offensive line is really tight together to protect against pressure, it's a pass play. And I'm pretty sure Alabama's seen it on film too. And they're going to take advantage of that. And they're going to jump the snap, which is probably why Alabama was doing that last year. They probably did it last year too, and I didn't realize it until now. But they get really tight when it's a pass play, and they leave big gaps when it's a running play. And I'm going to show you a few times where I predicted it, probably toward the fourth quarter, where I just kept predicting it over and over and over again. So here we go. Oh, man, I won't even go down there. Here, I'll just do this one. 9 minutes, 54 seconds on the fourth quarter. I predicted the run pre-play because of the gaps. 9 minutes, 20 seconds in the fourth quarter. I called run pre-play again, and it was. 8 minutes, 40 seconds. Oh, well, this is just that play here. This is a nice pass by Kellen Mond. He has showed his arm strength on this play. You can go see that play if you want to see his arm strength. 8 minutes, 25 seconds. I predicted the run pre-play again, and it was. 7 minutes, 51 seconds. I predicted the run pre-play again, and it was. And they got a touchdown on this play. Alabama won't allow you to do that. If we know what you're going to do based on your alignment, there's no possible way you're going to succeed in the game, especially not with a true freshman quarterback, especially if he's not pushing the ball down the field and he wants to run. And he looks like he's only reading one side of the field. That's another thing. With Kellen Mond, he's not doing a great job of keeping his eyes down the field. There were only like 2 or 3 times toward the end of the game where I saw him wait in the pocket and actually throw the ball. There was too many times where he scrambled around, running early, trying to get away from pressure that wasn't even coming to him yet. And I have examples of that. I just can't find it right now. Let me try to look down my paper and see. Oh, yeah, here's one right here. Third quarter. Yeah, third quarter. 9 minutes, 24 seconds left. Kellen Mond at the well, not 9 minute, 24 second mark. Well, yeah, this is a good play too. He keeps the ball here on the QB option when he should have handed it off. But here it is, the 8 minute, 30 second mark. Kellen Mond has beautiful pass protection. Yet he's flustered for nothing. He moves out of the pocket to the right. He has number six wide open on the out route for the first down to his right against the South Carolina's playing zone defense, so he could have got it in there. But I guess he didn't trust his arm strength, and he starts rolling right, and he's looking to the right side of the field. And because of that, also he missed wide receiver number 2 open on the dig route in the middle of the field at the same exact moment that he started moving. And all he gets out of this play is just getting back to the line of scrimmage because he ultimately ends up scrambling because it's too late to throw that out route because the zone is now back on it, and he misses the chance for a play. And if he's doing that against South Carolina, he will not be able to do that. He definitely won't be able to do it against Alabama. Let me see. I'm trying to find another example. I told you that happened a few times. It's. I don't see this guy making much of a difference against Alabama. Here's another example of him being hesitant. 12 minutes, 45 second mark of the first quarter, or is this second? It's second. He's very undecided on what to do as he does an RPO and with the QB option. He took the ball. He wanted to run. He decided not to. Then he flips it late to his wide receiver on the little screen option, and his inaccurate receiver falls incomplete pass. 12 minutes, 40 seconds left in the second quarter. Kellen Mond holds on to the ball way too long as the defensive tackle for South Carolina gets a sack on him coming on a long stunt. And this defensive tackle, number 93, is really slow. This stunt was slow, and he still got the sack because Kellen Mond is just holding on to the ball. 11 minutes, 58 second mark. Kellen Mond pressured again. Well, this time it's because his running back doesn't pick up the blitz well. But also his left tackle, number 65, has slow feet. He has really slow feet. The edge rushers went right around him. And that's another thing about Texas A&M's offensive line. It's a lot of things here. They rotate offensive linemen throughout the game, trying to keep guys fresh. And because they do that, that really can open them up to inexperience and allow their younger offensive linemen to get beat by more experienced defenders. So when you add all that up, I don't see Texas A&M making much of a difference against Alabama. I'm predicting Alabama to win big. Honestly, I don't see Texas A&M scoring much at all. I'll say, I'm just messing around, 49-7. 49-7. That's it. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. We can talk about it. See you after the game.